Don't have time to roll out that mat and lay down and work out some core? Well, I tell you what, these standing core exercises use the function of your core muscles and they hit muscles you're probably neglecting. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and start cranking it out. 40 seconds on, 20 seconds off. What we're gonna do is we're gonna work on rotation first. We're gonna do Charlie's Angels. We're gonna point like this, legs are shoulder width apart. And then from here, we're gonna rotate. Do your best to try not to rotate the hips. Working those obliques like no, never mind, utilizing their function. So it's really fun because external obliques run this way, internal obliques run this way. So we're literally blasting the whole kit and caboodle right off the get-go. Do your best to try to keep the hips nice and stable while you're doing the movements. And then we're just gonna go ahead and keep rotating. My goodness, golly gee gumdrops, gee willikers. We should be feeling those obliques light up like no, never mind, especially for keeping the hips nice and stable as we can. You guys are doing absolutely phenomenal. Okay, so we're gonna be rotating. My goodness, a lot of rotations in here, and boom. So really great job, guys. So all in all, you guys are doing absolutely phenomenal. Take that 20 seconds to rest and relax. Again, one thing I do want to cover before we crank out the next exercise is that word of power, keeping it back to your mind, okay? So remember, I enjoy moving my body and becoming healthier every day. So keep that in the back of your mind as you're doing the workouts. So next thing is we're actually gonna go ahead and we're gonna go into lateral bends. Another function of your obliques as well is lateral flexion. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna put the hands behind the head. We're just gonna start to laterally bend. Do your best to just bend through T-spine like this rather than like this and letting the hips shoot out to the side. So think we want to go into lateral flexion of T-spine to work those obliques as well, because flexion is also one of their functions. My goodness, golly gee gumdrops, gee willikers, they should be feeling pretty darn good. Getting some good flexion in through T-spine, or lateral flexion rather, because you guys are doing absolutely phenomenal, okay? So keep cranking it out. We got about 8 seconds of ever so fun side bending before we take a 20-second breather. So you guys are doing absolutely phenomenal. Keep cranking it out and boom. So really great job, guys. And again, if you haven't hit that like and subscribe button, consider doing that. That way you can keep up to date with all the exercises to come. So you guys are doing absolutely phenomenal. We still have 10 seconds of rest and relaxation. So take this time to replenish the energy before we start chopping Christmas trees for all those who do not have Christmas trees. So every time we do these wood chops coming up, we bring joy to the world, right? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have an arm out to the side. We're gonna have an arm out like this. And then what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna go ahead and we're gonna rotate and go into flexion. So we're gonna go into rotate, flexion. We're gonna clap the hand, boom, and boom. Now we're gonna rotate, boom, up, boom, up, boom. Chopping all those trees, bringing joy to the world. My goodness, you guys are doing absolutely phenomenal. I enjoy moving my body and becoming healthier every day. You guys are doing great. Going into a little bit of flexion as well as rotation as we're doing these ever so fun wood chops. You guys are doing great. Almost there, cranking it out. Boom, 3 seconds. Okay, and boom. Okay, absolutely phenomenal, guys. So all in all, you guys are doing great. So really great job cranking out all the exercises so far. Just working that core, standing up like no, never mind, because ain't nobody got time to roll out a mat, right? But all in all, you're doing really great with this, okay? So we got about 3 seconds of rest and relaxation. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the standing crossbody crunch. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna have hands behind the head again. We're gonna lift up a leg, and then we're gonna crunch, boom. And lift up a leg, and then we're gonna crunch, boom. Lifting up, crunching. My goodness, I enjoy moving my body and becoming healthier every single day. Holy Toledo, you guys are cranking it out. We should be feeling a good amount of burn on the core because we're utilizing the functions of the muscles in your core. My goodness, golly gee gumdrops, gee willikers, you guys are doing great, okay? Make sure again, when we're lifting up that leg, we're nice and stable, that 1 foot is grounded before we lift up and do our rotation, right? So you guys are doing great. Almost there, guys, almost there. You guys are doing absolutely phenomenal. Holy Toledo, golly gee gumdrops, you guys are doing great. All right, so awesome. So really great with that movement there. So give yourself a little bit of a breather, rest, relax. Next one is gonna be working a little bit through stability. It's gonna help stabilize the pelvis and the core. So it is gonna be oodles of fun. It is a precursor to being able to do a loaded march when we're doing this, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're actually gonna do a single leg stance with our brace. So I'm gonna stand to the front here just so you can kind of see. We're gonna lift up and make sure that we're not letting that hip kind of shoot up like this, right? So we're gonna brace that core, we're gonna lift up, and we're just gonna keep that core braced. We're gonna keep that core braced. So when I mean we're bracing, we're getting that lateral expansion, bracing like no, never mind. We're gonna hold this. Holy Toledo, golly gee, gumdrops, gee willikers. My goodness, you guys are doing absolutely phenomenal, okay? So remember, make sure we're keeping that core braced the entire time. That glute should also be lightened up as well while we're in this position, just to help stabilize the pelvis while we're doing the movements. My goodness, you guys are doing absolutely phenomenal. We got about 20 seconds. And again, this is just a precursor to being able to do that march loaded on either side, which blasts the core like no, never mind. But you guys are doing absolutely phenomenal. Almost there. We got about 10 seconds of holy heck before we switch over to the other side. So keep cranking it out because you guys are doing absolutely phenomenal. Remember, keep that lateral expansion, get that core all lit up like no, never mind, and boom. So you guys did absolutely phenomenal. So give yourself a second, rest, relax before we go ahead and we hit the other side now. What we're gonna do is we're gonna lift up, make sure that foot's grounded. We're gonna lift up, make sure that hip's not shooting out. And we're gonna brace that core. My goodness, you guys are doing great. I know things are kind of burning right now in the core and in the hip and in the leg, but my goodness, remember when muscles burn, muscles are 79, 80% water, right? Boiling water turns to steam and steam powers locomotives. So choo choo, next stop is victory and triumph for you, okay? So you guys are doing great. My goodness. So what part of the world are you guys from? Looking forward to hearing if you're watching all the way down in Australia, the land down under, Windy City in Chicago, the Big Sky City somewhere, probably Calgary, Alberta, but all in all, just go ahead and let me know. So you guys are doing great. So all in all, you guys did absolutely phenomenal cranking out all those standing exercises. And again, remember, make sure you keep that word of power in the back of your mind. I enjoy moving my body and becoming healthier every day. And until next time, I'm Carlo Alande.